Seiko Tokyo, it's the men's 100 meters world final.
男子 100m 決勝。
In lane 2, world rank number 3, representing South Africa.
南アフリカ記録保持者、南アフリカ共和国。
Akani Simbini. Lane 3, twice the African under-20 champion representing Nigeria.
パーソナルベスト9秒88ナイジェリア。
Kayinsola Ajayi. Lane 4, 6 times the world champion, the Olympic champion for the USA.
ブダペスト大会金メダル、アメリカ合衆国。
Noah Lyles. In 5, the Olympic Games silver medalist representing Jamaica.
ワールドリーダー、ワールドランキング1位、ジャマイカ。
Kishane Thompson. In 6, twice an Olympic Games silver medalist for the USA.
パーソナルベスト9秒79、ワールドランキング5位、アメリカ合衆国。
Kung Fu Kenny Benarek. In 7, the best of 981 set earlier this year for Jamaica.
ワールドランキング4位、ジャマイカ。
Oblique Seville. Lane 8, welcome the Olympic 200-meter champion representing Botswana.
ブダペスト大会銀メダル、ボツワナ。
Letsile Tobago. Lane 9, a lifetime best set here at 9:87, representing South Africa.
パーソナルベスト9秒87。
Hello guys, welcome once again to Edwin's Commentary. If you are coming across this channel for the first time, please remember to subscribe, like and also comment, and don't forget to click the notification button. In today's video is an interesting race, how Jamaicans give out the best sprinters. Then many countries, they always be like, why Jamaicans always bring out the best sprinters? Let's watch the video, then I will come with more comments.
The tension just needs to go a little higher. We'll find out what the start team make of that. We'll hear from start referee Helen. Yeah, Bolt knows what he thinks he saw. We all know what we think we saw, but there's only one opinion that counts.
Line 8, full stop.
And unfortunately, it is a red card. It's a disqualification for Letsile Tobago. We go again, Simbini, Ajayi, Lyles, Thompson, Benarek, Seville, and Leon Layla. The start is crucial, nice and quiet.
One oblique. On your marks. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Siinä on vähän kyse, että voi reaktioida, jos jää niin, että se ei ole ihan niin. Sitten katsoo, että se on tietoinen. Käsittääkseni.
Set.
This time away. Great start, Mikey Shea Thompson. Thompson leading. Race to the Oscar. It's Jamaica 1-2. Jamaica 977, the world champion, the fastest man in the world, is still Jamaican, Blake Saville.
さあ、ただいまの男子 100m 決勝はジャマイカのセビルが9秒77のパーソナルベストです。そして2着には同じくジャマイカトンプソン9秒82、3着アメリカ合衆国のライルズ9秒89のシーズンベストです。
There's the replay. Look at the pickup from the two Jamaicans as they come upright. They're already 1 and 2. Lyle's playing catch up as he so often has to get the bronze.
Well, let's have a look at the athletes from the first heat. Matt Hudson-Smith, by the way, the European champion and bronze medalist at the World Championships, goes in heat 4 for England. There's the lineup: Geldenhuys of Namibia, Timbachi of Vanuatu, Anthony Cox of Jamaica, Solomon of Australia, Steve Solomon, watch him, Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, Desroy Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines, and Shea Lara of Trinidad and Tobago on the outside. So with only 3 non-automatic qualifier spots, that's make the first 3 or you're not going to make it through to the semis is really the message. There is Shea Lara, 46.92 man this year. He'll be running blind. His personal best was last year, 46.4. In lane 7 for St Vincent and the Grenadines, he's actually the national 800 metres champion this year. Desroy Jordan, the 21-year-old, best of 47.76 this year. In 6, Kalinga Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, 3 times their champion and the reigning champion, set his personal best actually, but back on the 23rd of April. He hasn't raced since the middle of June. In 5, the very experienced Australian Steve Solomon, 8th in the Olympic Games in London 2012. Remember that, 10 years ago now. A semi-finalist in Tokyo last year, and he holds the Australian record for 400 indoors at 45.4. Good athlete. There's Anthony Cox of Jamaica. Had COVID in Eugene, but was able to compete in the heats of the 4x400 for his nation. Came 3rd in the Jamaican Championships earlier on this summer. There's Obedia Timbaki of Vanuatu. Went out in his heat for the World Championships, the 19-year-old, best of 52.85 this year, and that is his lifetime best. And then in 2 is Ivan Dani Geldenhuys of Namibia, 21 in a few days' time, the South African semi-finalist in the African Championships in Mauritius. back in early June, but he hasn't raced either since early June, the 20-year-old Gelden Heath. 46.4 his best this year. Remember, the first 3 go through by right, so he'll be right on the cusp of it. Will even Danny Gelden Heath. Champion is Makwala. He's up Makwala of Botswana. Indeed, his teammate Babaloki Thebe took out the silver on the Gold Coast back in 2018. So the first heat of 7 then in the men's 400 metres. Gelden Heath in 2, Timbaki of Vanuatu in 3, Cox of Jamaica 4, Solomon of Australia in 5, the Sri Lankan Kumaraj in 6, Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines in 7, and Lara of Trinidad and Tobago in lane 8.
Set.
Well, qualifying from this should be a formality for an athlete of the calibre of Steve Solomon of Australia, but he'll want a solid run. He's in 5. They're right in the centre in the yellow with the greenish shorts, 4th from left at the moment, moving well down the back straight. And actually quickest away is Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, really quick through the first 200 in that blue strip. He's a 45.8 performer this year, but he leads at the moment by quite some margin. Solomon going okay right in the centre. Inside him, the Jamaican vest of Anthony Cox is moving well around the second bend as they come into the straight. Kumaraj has given 101% through the first 300. Now he's chased down by the big figure of Cox, the Jamaican, who looks very strong for the last 50. Solomon follows him through, and he's under real pressure here for 3rd place, and I think he just loses out there to Gelden Heath of Namibia, who gets 3rd spot. It is the first 3, remember, who go through by right, and I think despite giving everything for the first 380, it was nearly enough. Kumaraj of Sri Lanka might just have got run out of it. It was very tight at the line. No doubting the strong finish and fine form of Anthony Cox. Maybe a little bit frustrated after not being able to give his all in Eugene a couple of weeks back because of COVID, but he wins in 45.51. That is only a couple of clicks outside his lifetime best from earlier on this season. And Steve Solomon, 45.98, a solid 2nd for Australia. And it was even Danny Gelden Heath of Namibia who took 3rd place, 46.51. Kumaraj will have to wait and see, but 46.53, I'm not sure it'll be quick enough. Desiree Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines, a personal best for him, significant leap forward, 47.29.
I was absolutely willing the Sri Lankan 3rd from the left here as we look at it to get himself home in the top 3. It was a really bold piece of running because he knew the likes of Cox of Jamaica and Solomon, who seems to have been around for a lifetime, made the Olympic final, must have been a teenager then back in 2012. The Sri Lanka knew that they would be coming and closing, and that he'd start wading through treacle towards the back end of the race. Gelden Heath did really well to come through in lane 2. Good running by Cox, just off the podium in the World Youth a few years ago. So unlucky to get COVID in Eugene and not be able to perform at his best. It's a good run by Solomon there, and Gelden Heath out dipping Kumaraj. So the Sri Lankan will have to wait to see whether he can claim one of the 3 non-automatic spots. But remember, that's 3 non-automatic spots from 7 heats. Good running by Cox, 3rd in the Jamaican National Champs. Just to make it as any level of international in a Jamaican sprint event shows you the calibre of the man we've just been watching, just off the podium in the World Youth, and he'll be absolutely determined to remind everybody what he could have produced in Eugene had COVID not brought his aspirations at the Worlds to a premature end.
Well, there it is. You can see the fine form of Anthony Cox. Bottom of picture. Working hard with the arms there. And that is very nearly a lifetime best. And I think there's considerably more to come from the 21-year-old. Solomon of Australia in the dark glasses. Moving well, and you can see the effort from even Danny Gelden Heath. Here he is with about 40 to go. He's way back in 4th, but he keeps battling away. Kumaraj by far the smallest of the 4-inch shot, just tying up the stride length going, the knees not coming up over the final meters, and he just gets out dipped by the Namibian, giving himself an early 21st birthday present in effect. There it is. Anthony Cox wins for Jamaica 45.51, and lovely big capital Q beside his name. Steve Solomon likewise for Australia in second place, and Gelden Huys of Namibia taking that precious third spot by 2 100ths of a second of Kalinga Hua Kamaraj.
Guys, welcome back. Let's begin with the men's of 100 meters final. Whenever Jamaicans lines up in sprint final, expectations are always high. But this race showed something even more dangerous than speed. It showed death. Everyone expected fireworks, but what stood out most was the performance of Kishan Thompson. He didn't look tense, he didn't force anything, he simply ran. That's what makes him so special. Some sprinters appear to fight the race. Kishan almost glided through it. His stride stays relaxed, his upper body relaxed move, his mechanics remain smooth from start to finish. And when an athlete looks that comfortable while running 9.77 seconds, a lifetime best, you know you are watching someone operating at another level. That is the scary part. Because when athletes begin running faster, effortless, they are often nowhere near their ceiling, but here is where things get even more interesting. Standing beside him was Oblique Civil, another Jamaicans, another athlete capable of beating almost anyone on the planet. This is what separates Jamaica from nearly every other nation. It's never just one athlete, there is always another and another. If one star struggles, someone else step forward. That's exactly why Jamaicans remains so difficult to beat. Other countries often build everything around one superstar. Jamaica builds competition. Their athletes push each other every single day along before they ever reach the Olympic stage. By the time they compete internationally, they have already survived some of the toughest battles at home. Think about it. Imagine training every day, knowing the athlete next to you could become the best world champion. There is no room for comfort, no room for excuses, no room for average performance. Every race matters, every practice matters, every opportunity matters. That environment creates something incredible, powerful pressure, but not the kind that breaks athletes, the kind that prepare them. When Jamaican sprinters arrive at major champions, the pressure feels familiar. They have lived with it their entire career. That is why they often look calm while everyone else looks nervous, because they have already been competing at an elite level before the cameras ever showed up. Now let's shift to the men's 400 meters. This race tells us a completely different story. Not about raw speed, but about reliance. Anthony Cox entered the season facing disappointment. Illness prevented him from competing fully in Eugene. For many athletes, setbacks like that can derail confidence for never recover. Others spend months making excuses. Anthony Cox did neither state. Instead, he showed up, he trusted his preparation, he executed his race and crossed the line fast in 45.51 seconds. It was not just a qualifying performance, it was proof of character, because the hardest race aren't always against your opponent. Sometimes they are against doubt, against frustration, against everything that tells you your season is not going according to plans. Anthony Cox reminded everyone that champions don't wait for perfect circumstances. They compete anywhere. So what's Jamaica's secret? It's not genetic, it's not luck, and it's certainly not coincidence. It's culture, and culture where greatness becomes normal. Young athletes don't grow up wondering if become a world champion is possible. They have already seen it happen. They watch legends like Usain Bolt transform from ordinary school athletes into global icons. They have seen Olympic champions come from neighborhood just like there is. That change everything because success becomes believable. When greatness feels possible, people train different, they think different, they compete different, and eventually they perform different. Success becomes contagious, and generation inspired the next day. That generation inspire another. The circle never stop. The biggest lesson from this race is not that Jamaica has the fittest athletes. It's that Jamaicans has built one of the strongest sprint culture the world has ever seen. Kishan Thompson showed us what relaxable excellence looks like. Anthony Cox reminded us that reliances still wins races together. They respect something much bigger than individual success. They represent a nation that doesn't just hope to compete with the world best. They expect to. And until another country can recreate that mindset, Jamaica's sprinters factor will keep producing champions. So, what do you think? Can any nation truly match Jamaica's sprinting culture, or is this system that simply can't be copied? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one video. Thank you.